Hello guys, we are back here for round 3 with the list that you see on screen. If you're interested in how we got to this list, go ahead and check out match 1 where you'll get all those important details. But for now, we are 2-0, we are cruising by. Hopefully we can get this 3-0, that would be nice. But until then, I will just see you guys in the games. Alright, we have a match. Alright, I guess they did not want to join the match. Maybe we have a match this time. Oh, we get to be on the play again. I love it. Huh. We get a turn to explore with this hand, and we have a Titan, and we have several land drops. I'll keep it. I guess we could just play Florahedron on turn 2 if we wanted to as well, but it's a little unclear if that's going to be the line. Regardless, we'll play towards it by playing our Sanctuary out here, instead of the Florahedron, of course. Polluted Delta, you say? Basic Swamp. That's interesting. Inquisition. So I assume we're losing our Summoner's Pact here. Unless our opponent has the fear of the Florahedron in their hearts. Somehow I doubt that. Ooh, Amulet is a nice pickup. Unfortunately, there's no way for us to play Amulet and Explore this turn, and I'd much rather prioritize playing Explore here, so we get the extra card out of it. Garenbrig is interesting as well. I think I'm pretty tempted to go ahead and play out the Florahedron as a land here. Could also play out Garenbrig. But Garenbrig can't be discarded. There's a small possibility our opponent casts another discard spell and wants to take our Florahedron. I don't know if that's particularly relevant, but yeah, let's play out the Florahedron, I guess. Such a weird concept to play out the Florahedron as a land. That is what we're doing, though. Next turn, we can Amulet into Explore if we so desire. If we ever find a bounce land, we can pick up this Balaged to get back our Summoner's Pact, so that's nice. Playing against a bug deck, it would seem. Playing out a Tarmogoyf, huh? Okay. Ooh, Dryad is quite nice here, though. We could go Amulet into Dryad plus Garenbrig and keep an Explorer in hand. Or we could go Amulet and Explore and just play the Dryad this upcoming turn. It's interesting because with our Dryad, we may want to keep our Tolaria West in hand as well, so we can either cycle it for a bounce land, transmute it, I mean, for a bounce land or for a Summoner's Pact, depending on the situation. So it's kind of a weird draw. I think maybe going Dryad into untap Garenbrig Amulet will be the best, since it sets us up to transmute and lets us get our Dryad into play. It's a good thing we held on to this castle after this top deck. This way we get to use all of our mana efficiently, and we have a couple things here in reserve. We have a threat, quote-unquote, in play. We have Titan mana this upcoming turn if we happen to draw a Titan. And if we don't, we can go looking with Tolaria West and Explore to try to find a copy of Primeval Titan. So that's pretty nice. In fact, if we don't find a Titan, we can immediately straight off transmute Tolaria West for bounce land, play it twice, pick up the Sanctuary, and Balaged back a Summoner's Pact. So we'll see exactly how this plays out here. I wonder how heavy a blue splash our opponent has here, if they have things like Drown the Lock, or... well, they have ways to kill our Dryad, clearly. But this could be more of a... controlling list, or it could be more of a mid-rangey list. Especially with things like Inquisition, it's likely they're being more mid-rangey, but there's no way to know for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and explore here. If we can find a Simic Growth Chamber, that would be nice. A recovery is actually fantastic here. Let's play out our Tolaria West to make future Simic Growth Chambers better, since we know that we are going to need a top deck to make that one work, and then we'll recovery back Summoner's Pact and see if that's good enough. Yeah, we want to cast this one, getting back that one. And we can hold the Ghost Quarter in hand here to play around a Liliana of the Veil. Again, I don't know if our opponent would be playing that. A lot of times in these Sultai lists, you would not usually expect to see Liliana, but since it plays so poorly with counter magic, like Mana Leak, but regardless, play around the things that we can. Blowing up our amulet makes no difference to me whatsoever here. We'll get our regular basic forest, so that we have 2 chances to draw a differently named forest in our deck, rather than having 1 potential dead card. That is a big Goyf. Not gonna lie. That is a huge Tarmogoyf. Interesting. An opponent playing a Planeswalker here. One of the new ones. Plus to scry. 0 to draw a card and reveal it. And remove loyalty counters from equal to the mana cost of the card from the Jace. Okay. Sort of like a Bob here. That definitely makes sense to me. And doing exactly what Bob always does and getting lands here. Well, we're most likely resolving a Titan. We could also be walking into a Force of Negation, however, and that would be pretty bad news. That said, I'm not going to play around it, because if we just naturally top deck another Pact or a Titan, then it's going to be better for us this way. If they do have the answer, then we'll be a little sad, but we definitely are getting rewarded here for playing like this. Now, sadly, we don't have access to a Crumbling Vestige, so we cannot haste our Titan. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm still going to leave up. I guess, I don't know if it makes a huge difference. We can leave up the Tolaria West here. Let me just go and double check real quick that we are not playing a Vestige, because that would be an unfortunate mistake to make. Yeah, no crumbling. Okay. Y'all don't want to see my sound setup. Yeah, let's do this. Of course, keeping our land drop here in reserve so that we can trigger Feel the Dead, potentially. So, my thinking is a bounce land, like Systemic Growth Chamber, and a Feel the Dead. That way we can pick up our Balaged Sanctuary here. Can get some zombies. We could also pick up Tolaria West, but then we won't have enough blue sources in play, so I'm just going to do this. And we'll play our Ghost Quarter as well. And we'll pass it back. Our opponent has quite a number of things to answer here. The Balaged recovery is looking very nice here. They draw another land here. I mean, I guess it's better than not drawing an additional land for free, but doesn't seem like it's going to be our opponent's savior. I suppose if they had Pulse, then we might be at some amount of danger from this Tarmogoyf, but I wouldn't put my Titan in front of the Goyf. Ooh, Tar Pit. Okay. Oh, we can just Ghost Quarter that if we want to. I think that we do. Pop. No reason to take any additional damage here. If we have a Titan in play, we're doing pretty hot, so. We'll block here with just a single zombie. It's nothing to play around, so. That's 10 damage on board. So if we can, I haven't done the math, but if we have the mana to get back a Dryad here and play it, then that is an option. I think we have to pay for our Summoner's Pact that trigger, though. So, still in great shape. Our opponent just putting all their cards into play here as well. So, they can draw from their bauble, that's fine. They're definitely in a lot of trouble, though. Getting to attack with a Titan here is just, that's just too much, I think. Okay, so let's just go straight to combat. First things first. Interesting. We'll attack Jace with the 2 zombies. And them with the Titan. Just because there's no reason to leave them with a Jace in play for no reason. And we can get a Vesuva to copy our field here, and a blue bounce land again. So that we can transmute this Tolaria West. And I definitely don't mind that. Oh, I didn't realize I was supposed to be stacking these. I was like, what? I thought I already had yielded. Okay, so let's pick up the Talari West, I guess. Not going to miss having the additional mana here, I don't think. Alright, and that's the game. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We probably want negates for potential counter magic and planeswalkers and whatnot. Explosives as well, since it deals with our opponent's Tarmogoyfs. Relics, of course, seem quite good here. They probably have Uro as well. Cavern seeming good. They are almost certainly playing Ashiok, so I think Beast Within is a good move. In fact, it's possible that Negate is poor against our opponent if they're playing a lot of discard spells. We may just want to have more live top decks. So I'm going to skip the Negates for now. We can trim, I guess, the Radiant Fountain. I don't know, though. I don't mind Radiant Fountain. We like all of our additional land/flip card type sources. We don't want these Grazers. Going down a card to ramp isn't really what we're looking for. Pact Negation seems fine. Our opponent probably has Aether Gust. We can trim an Amulet since they're poor top decks going live. And by live, I mean going late. We can trim one Summoner's Pact, perhaps, since we have Balaged to get back discarded Titans. So usually I wouldn't board out Pact in matchups like this, but I think it's probably fine, although it doesn't really interact well with our Relic. Although they also probably have Ashiok, so I'm going to continue to trim on that effect. We could cut some Florahedrons. They might be nice to clock potential Ashioks and whatnot, although they probably just eat a Fatal Push, but I don't know if I'm opposed to that, in all honesty. I like Garenbrig against these types of decks. Don't think I want to cut any lands. Man, we got to cut 3 cards here. 3 whole cards. Well, we can trim an Amulet. I don't think we actually need it to win here. We can trim 1 Azusa, since we don't want to have multiples of those, assuming that the first one stays in play. And I guess 1 Beast Within, although I really am very afraid of Ashiok. I'm not going to lie. What would you cut? I have no clue what to cut for this last card. I like Explore to dig out from underneath our opponent's discard spells. It's also good against counter magic as well, so I guess it's just got to be a land here. I'm going to trim a Gruul Turf in the hopes that our opponent will not be able to get us with a Fulminator Mage or something along those lines. Rain of Tears. That would be a interesting one to see. This hand seems fantastic. We got a turn 2 Explore, and our recovery happens to be an additional land source here, so Beast Within to answer an Ashiok. Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. No discard spell from our opponent on turn 1. We'll play out this recovery as a land, saving it from discard spells, interestingly enough. Of course, we don't want to play out Bog early, as making our opponent's Tarmogoyfs much more awkward is something I'm interested in, especially considering they're playing Thoughtscour. They could have delve threats like Gurmag Angler and Tasker the Golden Fang. Haven't seen any Street Wraiths. I suppose they could be playing Sultai Shadow. Would be unusual to see Sultai Shadow. They also didn't fetch Shock on turn 1 last game, so I guess this is probably not Death Shadow. Getting a tap Triome here. Interesting, interesting. We're definitely going to get rid of this graveyard. That's a nice and juicy stacked graveyard. So, do we want to play into something like a Stubborn Denial? Or like a Spell Pierce? I think we do. I don't put our opponent on Stubborn Denial, given that I don't put them on Shadow either. And there we go. Definitely rewarded. Get rid of that graveyard. Gone. Don't like it. Pass back. Well, now we need to draw a bounce land would be nice. They have a Goyf. So our Bog already doing secretly a ton of work. There's a recovery. Recovering back and Explore is not the worst here. It doesn't feel like a winning line, but I mean, Explore is very good. We could also Summoner's Pact for something here. Nah. Let's do what I had previously said and recovery back this Explore, I think. It's like a little weird, but I can't think of a better line to be honest. I guess we could have held up Beast Within, perhaps, but our opponent missed their third land drop. They could have an Ashiok here, and then we'd have to Beast Within it. If we draw any untapped land source or even a bounce land, then we get to hold up Beast Within this upcoming turn anyways while casting Explore, so I have to imagine we'll see an Ashiok here. We are prepared for that. Oh, there's a Jace. That one I'm much less scared of. And they're plussing to Scry. Interesting. Okay, another Explorer is interesting. We'll explore. Bounce land, come on. There we go. Well, we can hold up our Beast Within here if we want to. Yeah, I like that. We'll get our value from a Radiant Fountain here. And yeah, we'll just pass it back. I don't care about our opponent getting an extra card from this Jace at this point. The Beast Within is mainly to answer our opponent's Ashiok if they have one. And if they don't, then we might just go to Slam Town with our Primeval Titan. Or we may do otherwise. We'll see. Not worried about taking 3 damage here. If our opponent decides to tap some mana, we could actually Beast Within a land so they can't Aether Gust us. And that is something I'm somewhat interested in. Nothing, eh? Just absolutely 0 things to be done, huh? I'm kind of interested in Beast Within their land. I'm afraid of getting clocked by this Beast plus Tarmogoyf here. Really don't like the proposition of that. I'm gonna go for it, though. My instinct tells me that it's the right choice, so... If they decide to react with this, then we'll be able to cast Titan, and if they don't, well, we'll see. And Dryad is an interesting pickup. That one nicely blocks our opponent's Beast. Our opponent could have Drown in the lock. Or they could have Mana Leak as well. We can play around Mana Leak by playing Dryad first. It doesn't really play around Drown, however, but I think it's still correct to slam the Dryad here. They do have the Drown. Unfortunate. Let's explore. Another bounce land would be fantastic. That way we can bog to reset this Goyf. Fetch land is not the best. Right, we're passing back. We're on the clock for sure now. This Goyf looking a lot worse for us. Actually, we could draw one of those, Relic of Progenitus that we cited in. And that would be pretty good. Can't do anything about these. We know our opponent has a Gust now as well, which is quite unfortunate. Recovery. Awkward. Yeah, this is not a great situation for us. I guess we have to Beast Within the Tarmogoyf here. So we can Recovery back a Beast Within. And see if they counter it. And then, if they do, then we can Beast Within the Tarmogoyf. Weird. We don't really have any good options. Alright, I'm gonna go for the Beast Within straight away. And that way we can play the Recovery as a land if we need to. If not, we might just be dead. Alright, they let it go. That's pretty good news. Let's see, we'll have 5, 6, 7, 8 mana if we play the Recovery here. And we still have to beat an Aether Gust. So I suppose we could, if we top deck an untapped land, we could pack for a Dryad and play it, and they might Gust it. And if they don't Gust it, then we have a Dryad to block one of the beasts and we just die, I guess. But if they do Gust it, then we can slam Titan. Seems loose, but I guess it's our best shot. Alright. That's the plan. I guess throwing off the Beast Within early on did backfire pretty horrendously here. Snapcaster Mage. Our opponent is able to put us to 1. Oh, I guess we won't be able to fetch then. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we have to top deck. No, Cavern of Souls doesn't even do it because of the Gust, so Florahedron doesn't do anything either. Alright, we're going to a game 3. They put the tempo beats on us. Let's see. I'm still not interested in Negate. I'm a little more interested in Dismember now, since our opponent seems to be reliant on only a few threats. I'm okay with Dismember, I think. Florahedron doesn't seem like it's super impactful here. Recovery's good, but I don't know if we need that many of it. And I'm actually not sure that we want Pact. Pact lets us beat a potential Aether Gust, but I don't know. Let's try it this way. Actually, we want this Gruul Turf, I think, so we'll bring that in over a Garen Brig, since I don't have the time to make a decision otherwise. Maybe we want to cut the Radiant Fountain. All right, we'll be on the play. We see our Gruul Turf here. Coming for us. Turn 3, Azusa. Turn 4, Titan. Plus a recovery to get something back if they have a discard spell. Pretty slow. Yeah, pretty slow. I don't know if I like this hand, actually. We do have several untapped sources, though, which is pretty nice. We don't have a plan against Ashiok, however. Yeah, I don't know about this. It seems a little loose, but I'm gonna try it. No need to play out the recovery as a land here. First things first. If they have a discard spell, they're certainly taking one of these 2 cards and not the recovery. Your opponent mulligans to 6. Alright, we'll lead on the Teferi West, I do presume. We'd love to draw an Explorer here. I'd even hardcast a Florahedron, although sided those out, I think. Explorer off the top would be phenomenal. Amulet would be fine as well. Discard spell. Yep. Wonder what they take. Probably the Titan. I don't think that would be right, though. I think it's probably correct to take Azusa, as weird as it is. Because we have many ways to rebuy this Titan, including the recovery that we already have in hand. The thing that slows us down the most is taking the Azusa, so that's what I would suggest doing, but they choose not to. We'll see if it bites them. Bobble. Okay. Why did they not bobble our top card before they thought these? If they see a second Primeval Titan on top, then they know for a fact not to take this one, right? Explore. Come on, explore. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Alright, we'll play our Sanctuary here. Get a tap land out of the way. That was hilarious. If they see a Titan on top, then they'll know not to take Titan. Beautiful. Tarmogoyf. I will see your Tarmogoyf and erase it with an Azusa. Boom. And we'll do the following. We have Titan this upcoming turn, if our opponent has nothing else to say about it. Do we want to pick up the Bala Ged in case we draw a land here, or do we want to have guaranteed Titan mana? I think guaranteed Titan mana is better, sadly. I'd love to have the Bala Ged here in hand as an additional way to rebuy a Titan, but I just don't think we can afford it. And see, if our opponent had taken our Azusa, we wouldn't have gotten to this point, right? We would have had double Titan, Beast Within in hand, and only 3 lands in play. But now their situation is just so much worse because they left us with the Azusa. I mean, you could say that it was lucky to top deck another Titan. I mean, look at the situation, though. Now we're about to get Fielded Ed, and we drew the Gruul Turf to pick up our Bala Ged if they have the answer, so... yeah, this is just spiraling wildly out of control for our opponent based on their Thoughtseize decisions. We can bog our opponent's graveyard to turn our opponent's Tarmogoyfs into 1/2s. Yeah, I think that this is the best line. Bog plus field. We could also do a bounce land plus field so we can pick up this ball again. I don't hate that. If our opponent has pulse, it's really not that bad for us. Let's go growth chamber and field, actually. Yeah. We can pick up and replay the growth chamber a few times. We already played one land, so we have 2 land drops remaining. So we can go growth chamber, pick up Balaged. All right, our opponent needs a lot. Sacking Waterlogged Grove doesn't seem like it's a lot. Oh, there we go. We win the match. And I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure the only reason we won this match is because our opponent chose not to take the Azusa there. Sometimes you have to look at your opponent's Primeval Titan in hand and just say, well, I can't beat that if it comes into play, so let me take their only source of ramp so they never get there. I think they, especially with a double Goyf draw, I think they had the clock needed to kill us even if we found like an Explorer or a Dryad or something. They could just kill the Dryad and clock us down with Tarmogoyfs before we ever get a Titan out. Like, I think that would have been fine. I don't know, though. Maybe I'm speaking to something I don't know. Do you guys play these discard-type mid-rangey decks? Do you think Jund or Sultai should be taking Azusa in that situation? Let me know. I definitely think it cost our opponent greatly there, though. That's my personal opinion. Anyways, we are 3-0. Love to celebrate that. If you find that you enjoy the content, if you liked it, learned something from it, got any kind of value out of it, go ahead and like and comment and subscribe, all that good stuff. Especially comment. I like interacting with you guys in the comments. I play my viewers' deck lists on the channel. Of course, it should probably be Titan related, although I'm not opposed to looking at other things, but most likely it should be a Titan list. And yeah, leave your comments, leave your thoughts, leave your discussions, all that stuff. Put it in the comments. If you are a person who's new to playing Primeval Titan decks, someone who's just picked up Amulet for the first time, I'd love to hear your experience. Maybe share some of my experience with you. All that kind of good stuff. Anyways, I'm just going to leave that at that. This is Redface Menace, signing off.